Good evening from Stegman Coliseum in Athens, Georgia, and thank you for joining us as we continue the night session on day 2 of the Dr. Ralph Swearingen Georgia High School State Basketball Championships. Tonight, the season-long battle for Class 6A supremacy will be settled, and we will crown a Peach State champion. I'm Wiley Ballard. Joining me this evening, a 20-year coaching veteran in the state of Georgia at both the college and high school level, Daniel Searle. Now, Daniel, we move to the boys division now, where we find a stark contrast in stories. First, the Brunswick Pirates, Region 1 champions, won the state title a couple of years back and have won 3 home games as well as a neutral site affair. They've had a smoother ride to the playoffs, and they've been led by their big man in the middle.
And that is Kamani Dunham. He is going to be the key factor right here for Brunswick Pirates. Over 14 points a game and 7.5 rebounds. He was the key against Aquila back in the second round, really stepping up big there. Headed to College of Charleston to play at the D1 level next year. 276 pounds and 6'8".
On the other hand, the Langston Hughes Panthers have been the Cardiac Cats, winning 3 straight single-possession games away from home to reach their first state final in school history. How have they done it?
They've done it with Landers Nolley, number 21. He's a playful guy, but guess what? A little dance move or two. Wait till he gets on the court. 25 points a game, 7 rebounds a game. This kid had 34 against Allatoona, 22 in that cardiac game against Gainesville that we will talk about. Uncommitted so far, but he is a top 50 player in the state.
It's time to take a look at our keys to the game. And first we will begin with the designated visitors, the Brunswick Pirates. They've got to play inside out with Kamani Dunham.
That ball's got to come into the big man, and from there, if he's got the move, take it. If not, kick it out to the guards who will dribble, drive, and attack.
Bottle up Nolley.
And if Nolley goes off, it's going to be a struggle for Brunswick. They're going to have to send 2 guys at him, not let him get good looks, not let him get to the rim.
Panthers, meanwhile, it's critical that they deny that dribble drive.
The dribble drive is the key to the Brunswick offense. If they can get into the paint and then dish off to the bigs, long night ahead. But if they can stop the drive, they'll be in a good place.
Sticking to the game plan, a key piece to success for Coach Welsh.
And Coach Welsh talks about it. If these guys start doing their own thing, jacking a shot here, taking a drive there, it'll all break down. They've got to be together.
We'll be back with the starting lineups and tip-off for the Class 6A boys final, part of the Dr. Ralph Swearingen Georgia High School State Basketball Championships, live on the NFHS Network.
This isn't just any team. This is your home team, okay? It's not about A team or B team. It's not about your boss telling you to be a team player or to take one for the team. No, home team is about pride. It's about standing strong, pulling together, and going crazy about a bad call you know is right. But because it was against your home team, it must be wrong. Look, some people just don't get it because it's not their team. But Farm Bureau Insurance does, because everyone needs a home team for insurance, and we are that.
It's championship time in Athens, Georgia. The Class 6A boys final between the Langston Hughes Panthers and the Brunswick Pirates, who have traveled nearly 5 hours from South Georgia to descend on the campus of the Georgia Bulldogs. A lot of Pirates in the house tonight. Let's take a look at Brunswick's starting lineup. First, the point guard Marcus Scott leads the team with 3 assists and 2 steals. Also had the game winner in the quarterfinals. Daquan Humphreys, the shooting guard, averaged 20 points in the first 3 games in the playoffs. Jalen Jackson at the guard spot. He's been an on and off starter since he was a freshman. And Derek Lampkin, he's our motor in the 4, and Kamani Dunham, a College of Charleston commit. Now for the Langston Hughes Panthers, who have won 3 straight single-possession games, number 4 in the state. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. First at point guard, Derek Cook, a Northeastern commit. At the shooting guard spot, Landers Nolley leading the team in points, rebounds, and steals per game. At forward, number 4, Richard Matthews. He started the last 7 games, playing really well in the postseason. At power forward, number 13, Jalen McClooney. He's been compared to Dennis Rodman. And down low, Ahmed Bryant, a backline defender who will have his hands full tonight defending Kamani Dunham.
He sure will. Dunham, that big presence at 6'8". We talk about him going to College of Charleston. It's pretty exciting out here. A couple 3 Division I commits, a top 50 player in the nation on the Langston Hughes side. So make sure you keep an eye there on number 21, Landers Sanchez Nolley. And here's a look at that crowd from Brunswick. The Pirates making the trek up here. It's a long ride.
280 miles from Brunswick, Georgia, near the coast of the Atlantic, further south than Savannah. But they have come looking for their second state championship in the last 3 years.
The students were telling me earlier as they were filing in and getting excited. On the other side, Langston Hughes with a pretty good crowd, too. Their cheerleaders right in front of that bunch, ready to make some noise for their squad, Panthers and Pirates.
The roles flipped a little bit as far as these teams are concerned. Brunswick was the home team or designated home team in each of their 4 playoff games. Langston Hughes, the visitors, wearing the white jerseys for the first time since the region tournament. And in the middle, it is Ahmed Bryant and Kamani Dunham. The Panthers control the opening tip. It's the Class 6A final live on NFHS Network. Here's Derek Cook running the offense for the Panthers. Keep an eye on Landers Nolley. He's down the low block as we look. And they go right to him, the junior in his first year at Langston Hughes. Now Cook eyes a 3. Now down to the wing, McClooney back to Cook, who spots up and buries his opening tray.
Good ball movement right there by Langston Hughes, and they will press three-quarter court with that 1-2-2.
Over into the middle, Daquan Humphreys with it now. He gives it up to Derek Lampkin. A chest pass across to Scott. He's been clutching the big game.
Langston Hughes then sinking back into a 3-2. They will take away drives.
3-point try, no good from Humphreys. Rebound secured by Derek Cook, who leaves his feet. A one-handed pass on to Matthews. Cook another tray, and off the front of the rim.
Cook feeling good, shooting quickly, and that is because Landers Nolley is all bottled up at this point. Marcus Scott, the junior, 23, chasing him all over the court.
He shoots it to Humphreys from the corner. No good, and tipped around, hauled in by Nolley. The junior weaves into the paint, and an offensive foul charged on a talented player.
Take a look there at Cook's 3. He missed one right after that, but feeling pretty good early.
Leading 3-0 here in the early going, as the Pirates will inbound the ball. Panthers led by Coach Welsh in his 5th year, Rory Welsh. Meanwhile, on the Brunswick sideline, Chris Turner in his 9th season. And now taking the baseline and double team down to the corner. From Scott. He hits! Marcus Scott, a 3-pointer, and we're tied.
Credit the Pirates for settling down after breaking the press. They didn't rush. They backed it out. They found the open look for Scott, who's now the defensive man all the way up in Landers Nolley's grill.
And Nolley working against Scott has a lot of height on him. But Nolley rises up, can't hit. Rebound controlled by Jalen Jackson. I beg your pardon, Daquan Humphreys. As Marcus Scott spins off his man, the point guard will reset the defense. Scott gives up 11 inches on Nolley. He launches from way deep and is short. McClooney hauls in the board. Here comes Cook. Behind the back spin. Richard Matthews, a touch. And now Matthews goes baseline. Step to the right. Layup no good. Offensive board from Ahmed Bryant. He's got 2.
The Pirates packing it in a zone right there. Panthers finding a way to slice through.
Scott now inside to Lampkin, and we've got a foul on the play.
Here it is. Look at Matthews slicing through and out of his zone. It's hard to box out if you don't have a man. Bryant takes advantage and finishes at the rim.
Foul charge to Richard Matthews, his first, team second. Panthers with an early 5-3 lead just over 3 minutes in. Baseline inbounds. It's a long pass. Scott will track it down. The Pirates, champions of Region 2. They've won 6 in a row, 23-8 on the season.
A shifting 2-3 zone for the Panthers.
Deep three for Humphreys, no good. Long rebound right in the hands of Jackson. And a whistle before the shot. And that'll go on Amid Bryant. His first foul, 3 for Langston Hughes in the opening minutes. Now Humphreys gets it out to Scott.
We talked about the ball needing to go inside first for the Pirates. Not happening so far as Langston Hughes taking away the middle. Dunham with no touches.
Trying to flash in the high post. Humphreys circling around underneath. Now Humphreys takes himself baseline towards the hoop, over the hoop. And now a rebound hauled in by Nolley and a bump from Daquan Humphreys. First foul on the Pirates. And there's Coach Rory Welsh. He's been with this group of seniors since they were in middle school. That's Derek Cook, Amid Bryant, Richard Matthews. High energy and a highly positive coach when it comes to game time.
A lot of positive encouragement to the guys. And you can see it out here. You saw it in warm-ups. They were bouncing around and some dancing, playing with some joy right now. But they also know it's the state championship.
Cook, a one-handed toss to McClooney. The floater is good. He sinks it.
That's McClooney finding that baseline space and elevating. Understanding that one more dribble would have been too much. He goes up high.
Bounce pass, weaving in. Scott backs back up. Humphreys on the wing. Scott from a mile away, nothing but net. He drills it.
Big confidence. You see the white line, you see the black line for the college three, and he was at the NBA line that they haven't even drawn out here on the Stegman Coliseum floor.
He's got all 6 of the Pirates' point. It's Hughes by a tally. Cook. Out to Matthews.
Basically daring him to shoot the three. He does.
Takes on the challenge and fearless. The role player who has started 8 straight games has played unbelievably well in the postseason. Dangerous pass by Jackson. Gets it to Scott. Breaks an ankle underneath to Dunham. His first try is good.
And that's great work by Scott. He hit the three. He drew out the defense and then found inside for Dunham. His first 2.
McClooney gets it knocked away, close to stepping on the end line. Instead, he turns it over himself, and now Jackson. The pass, Lampkin back to Jackson underneath the Scott from the SEC logo. Hits it.
The extra pass and the extra pass leads to an easy 2 right there off that break.
Scott's got 8 of the 10. Just inside the three-point line, Richards with the friendly roll. Richard Matthews with the basket. High-flying hoops thus far. That basket too strong. Now Scott, a little stutter step. Out to Lampkin between the legs. Lampkin wears number 1 for the Pirates. He's the motor.
Hasn't had that much action so far as Scott has been dominating the basketball and the scoreboard.
Close in on Scott. Now Lampkin cuts it loose. Too strong. Rebound hauled in by Matthews. And now a full court pass to Nolley. Draws the foul. It goes against Marcus Scott.
And Scott a step too late on that one. If he was able to turn his left shoulder and flatten out just a little bit more, probably could have gotten the charge. The Brunswick crowd not too happy. And just off your screen, Coach Turner talking to the official asking about, what was he missing? Well, a little bit more of a turn. That'll send Nolley to the line. Free throws.
And his first points come via the free throw line. Nolley won a state title back at Curry High School in Chicago after playing his freshman year at Lovejoy here in Georgia. He hits both. He's now got 2.
And he gives a little shh to the Pirate crowd right behind the basket.
But Nolley, after a year in Chicago, came back to the Georgia area and enrolled at Langston Hughes under Coach Welsh, as the floater from Jackson is good.
Cutting through the seam of that zone and finding space to get off that teardrop.
Matthews gives it to Cook, the Northeastern commit. Goes underneath to Nolley. A long 2. He sinks it. He is lethal.
Fantastic reverse pivot, opened up and elevated over the much shorter Scott.
Across the timeline, now into Lampkin. Nice pass to Dunn. Too hot to handle.
Too hot and a little too low. It was the right look, and he can probably pick up those Dunham can. But let's take a look at Nolley. Good post feed. There's that reverse, and nothing but net.
Panthers averaging 64 points per game. Brunswick 68. Off to a strong start here in the opening quarter. Matthews feeds inside to Nolley, where he's double teamed. They'll go around a lob pass now to Cook, who kicks it out to McClooney. Across the court, Matthews eyes it again, and he sinks it.
So the scouting report, not exactly what the Pirates were thinking. Sag off on Matthews and double team Nolley. He's got 2 threes, Matthews does.
8 total points, now a loose ball. McClooney lunging on the floor, called for the travel, but you can see why he draws the comparisons to Dennis Rodman.
Get on the floor, get those burns, but here's that look. Skip pass, cross court, and 4. Matthews got the look, got the bucket. He's feeling.
Left as Marcus Scott will wind it down. Lets it fly. And that is how you close out a first quarter. Marcus Scott with his 3rd 3. But it's Langston Hughes who has a 19-15 advantage, as the Panthers and Pirates have come to play in the Class 6A final. We'll be back with the second quarter of action. This is the Dr. Ralph Swearingen Georgia High School State Basketball Championships on the NFHS Network.
This game is brought to you by Under Armour, maker of the world's best apparel, footwear, and accessories. Check out the full line of performance gear now at UA.com. Under Armour, I will.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
The Brunswick Pirate faithful, a long drive up. Did you say 4 charter buses?
4 charter buses. The students were happy over there. They said they let us out after block 2. We loaded the buses and moved out, but really most people didn't even go to block 1 and 2.
Marcus Scott begins the second quarter. His Pirates down by 4. Jalen Jackson with it now on the free throw line extended. Now out to Daquan Humphreys. Inside to Dunham. And he jams it home with 2 hands.
You know, Coach Turner drew that up. He said, first possession, second quarter, deliver inside to Dunham. The drop step dunk.
Tough challenge for a mid-Bryant underneath for the Hughes Panthers. Richard Matthews, the early story. He's got 8 points. Wears number 4 in white. And he will give it out to Cook. Landers Nolley, a deep try, no good, flying in. McClooney can't get the board, but Bryant does, and now poked from behind. It'll stay with the Panthers.
Watch this diamond action, but let's go back, and the feed inside. After they reverse that basketball, they're looking for Dunham. Find him for that drop step. Good, strong finish.
And amid Bryant now, and he's able to finish it off. 4 points for Bryant.
So active. both ends of the floor. You've got to love the energy and intensity out here for this state final. 6A boys, Stegman Coliseum, rocking.
Derek Lampkin, a pivot, now takes it inside, turns it over. Nolley in transition. He's got a lot of length, and he's going to use it to rise over the defense. Does draw contact.
And Coach Chris Turner with his hands in the air. As we see a replay on this one, he literally got into position, fell backwards. Landers Nolley came flying over him. No contact. The official decides to call that. We'll take a look here after these free throws.
First foul on Jalen Jackson as Nolley sinks his third free throw.
Nolley getting to the line and getting some points.
But when he returned to the Georgia area, it was a relationship between his father and Coach Welsh that got Nolley to Langston Hughes. So he misses the second free throw.
Back from the Lovejoy days when up.
And here he goes, taking the elevator. Can't finish, but Lampkin called for the foul.
And this is the Landers Nolley we were expecting to step up big, be extremely quick around the basketball and attack the rim. He can hit those little turnarounds as we saw earlier and attack the basket for a dunk.
Second steal for Nolley in the game as he hits the free throw.
4 for 5 from the free throw line tonight. That's where he's getting the majority of his points. Brunswick deciding